Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. Previously, we took testimony from Wendy Oldbag, who said she witnessed a shooting in the stadium. But after some careful examination of the scene, thanks to Kay Faraday's little thief helper, which is like pretty much magical holograms, honestly, we're able to reconstruct the crime scene, and we determined that the victim was standing below on the ground while the shooter was, no, wait, was it? Oh god, there was a swap at one point, I forget. Anyway, there was a stage involved, one of them was standing on the stage, and they were both wearing badger costumes. So that's a bit ridiculous. Plus, the killer made a getaway in the proto-badger mobile. And then, just as things were getting heated up with Lane getting all angry and everything, Lance Amano, the kidnapping victim, wandered in. He freed himself. Now we're spreading the good news while Lane kicked us out. So, back to square one, really. So let's begin.
Then, my little Lance is unhurt?
He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lane.
Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a sop.
How do you know he was locked up, Is there something you want to tell me, And what's with that bandage on your elbow? How'd that happen, What's going on here? Oh, looks like we're got free reign of the place, so let's speak with Kay. What is it, Kay? You look like you've stumbled upon something.
I'm kind of confused by all of the different events going on. First, there's the kidnapping, and then the co-conspirators of that end up in murder. And Miss Oldbag saw the crucial moment, but you and Miss Oldbag are kinda...
We do not need to investigate further into that last statement. Disregarding the fact of who it came from, the witness's testimony was a mess. However, it did shed some light on the truth behind this case.
Well, let's keep investigating and see what other types of people we run into, shall we?
So, how do you feel that your son is free?
Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough.
It was nothing.
I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver. But I have to say, I'm relieved that Lance is all right. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him.
A letter? What is this letter?
Oh, the way Lance is being chased after by women remind me of someone I know. I almost can't believe he received yet another love letter, you know? Here, take a look for yourself.
Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? My dear Lance Amano, may I come see you again? Your beloved Viola. Let's see, and the text on the right says, Tender Lender Loan Company. The frick? It's a very simple love letter.
Oh, hey, let me see. That's really weird. It's from a loan company, Tender Lender. Looks more like a collection bill to me.
So is Lance in money trouble? Oh man, you don't suppose Lance was in on the kidnapping and blackmail, do you? That would just be sick. Can I ask you more about it here?
Oh, that looks to be something with quite a bit of value. But then, all things have some value attached to them. Only by probing deep into the unknown can we become true winners in this world, Miles.
Thanks, but knowledge isn't what's going to make me a winner here. It's information. Yeah, I don't see why this guy would know anything new. Pretty sure we already saw what he has to say about the badge, too.
Seeing that badge reminds me of Manfred. Now, he was one fine prosecutor, the best of the best.
Yeah, we saw this. You definitely saw this for sure. But it's not letting me auto-skip. So let's chat about Lance.
He loves me not. He loves me not. Aw, that's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try.
Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through.
I suppose if they were me, then blush.
I believe you said that you are Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct?
Yes, I am, but oh, so like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're not just friends either? I mean, because this isn't just any ordinary ring. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Oh, it's so wonderful.
You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring? I had a lollipop today. It was root beer flavored. It was good.
So, which is it? Have you guys not decided if you're going out, or is it just one-sided?
Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know?
My father used to work for Mr. Amano, and so Lance and I grew up together. I said it out loud.
I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. Miles is in an anime world, he just lives in it. So your father was an employee of the Amano Group. What did he do?
I heard his job was to fly around the world. On Pegasus.
Pegasus?
Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had me there for a second. But now, it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, I see. About 10 years ago, he rode in Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned.
Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff of legends are made of.
It's been so long, I don't think I'd recognize him if we were to ever meet again. I'm so sorry, Lauren. But I won't give in to the sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live.
About this incident.
Incident? But isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incidents.
How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped?
Oh, that's because of my woman's intuition.
Oh, come on. You based everything on that.
I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange. It really must be destiny.
Blush.
Ah, she started fantasizing again. So what are you going to do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
We already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location that might hold a clue or two. Kidnapper's hideout. Or, well, yeah. The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout.
But we're still not allowed in, remember?
Agent Lane and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there is no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. Will do. I see they moved the body already. I can't look at it. Wait, can I freely move out? Oh wow, we're in the front of Gatewater Land. Okay. I can actually look at this stuff.
Why is there a blue badger here too?
Are you deathly allergic to him or something?
It's not that. It's more the half smile on his face. It's really unsettling.
She's disturbed by the half smile. I'm more disturbed by its movements and how it managed to obstruct an investigation. So that thing is totally the same stand from Rise from the Ashes. There's still like a little patch on its left spike. Or its right? My left? Is that Winston, by the way?
This man looks suspiciously like the precinct.
It's the chief! Oh, he's the inventor of the Blue Badger. Look at that lovely smile on the Blue Badger's face.
Ah, it's looking at me. Make it stop. It's scary.
It's all right, dear. You want to know something? I was the one who created the Blue Badger. See, look at his eyes. Don't they look like Daddy's?
It's scary. It's scary because they do look like yours, Daddy.
Well, that was rather depressing. I think I'd better leave the two of them alone. Yes. To think they were but a hotel, now they have their own safari park attraction. Talk about a veritable goulash of rides and attractions.
With so many of them, you'd think they would have a ninja house. Like one of those buildings with a zillion secret places to hide in. Those are fun.
Well, they don't.
Hey, how can you be so sure? Oh, I know. I bet they really do have one, but it's hidden in real ninja fashion. Come on out, ninja house. I know you're around here somewhere.
A hidden ninja house. Next she'll be looking for a lost pirate ship. Don't say that out loud, she'll get ideas. Hey! Look at those losers! Oh man, that's great. They say that couples who cross this bridge together will find happiness. Or so the Gatewater Land pamphlet says.
But you'd think that they'd already be happy because they were able to come together.
Logistics aside, I wonder who came up with this tale and when. This bridge doesn't look old enough to be the stuff of legends.
Well, some things are better left uninvestigated, don't you think? Ignorance is bliss.
Okay, so no talking about them, they're just there for the Easter egg. Alright, that's really good. It's good to see Maya and Pearl again. Damn. Oh, that's great. What a great Easter egg. I guess we can discount Phoenix showing up in this game then. I feel like that's all we're gonna get from him, and that's fine by me. This is Edgeworth's game. What do you have to report? Sir, nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir. Where have I heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us take a look around inside? Sir, Roger, sir. Is that Meekin's brother or something? That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lane order you not to allow me in? Sir, that's true, sir, but Detective Gumshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir. And I couldn't refuse a request from him.
Wow, looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following.
Furthermore, I was asked to give this document to you, sir. What's this? A criminal record for Colin Devore. His name's supposed to be... Wait a second. Oliver Deacon is an anagram for Colin DeVore, isn't it? So Oliver Deacon was a fake name. Also, it says dominant hand right. That's gonna come up eventually. Whereabouts unknown after his escape from Pen Edent Prison. Penident. Penitent Prison. Stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. Okay, well, Lauren Pops just said that her father went away for so long, and she wouldn't recognize him. The man in this picture. Isn't this Mr. Oliver Deacon?
But the name here says Colin DeVore.
That's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin DeVore was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago and sent to prison.
What? Then what was he doing here?
Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished. Must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he was an escaped felon.
Now I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and this current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine. Let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout.
Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, think later.
More than thinking things through, I think you should try remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer. It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then the door's been wide open, sir. I'm not sure I follow what it is you're saying. Care to explain in a bit more detail? Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to check out the room. So they got about 10 officers to help out and break the door down, sir. I see. I guess that means I get Agent Lane's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find. Well, a broken mirror springs out. I think there's a blue badger costume of some sort in the trash bin. So this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed.
Well, you were tied up for a while in the room next door, hee.
Kay, please, must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity. Let's begin by looking closer at that dossier. Is there anything more to it? No. So this pendant, clearly a relic of his old life before he went into hiding under a false identity. Probably a gift from someone, maybe his daughter or wife. That's my guess. What have we here?
Looks like a sword, a broken sword.
Strange. Why would it be broken like that? It was probably jamming the door shut, like you would put in a bar to, bar the door. But it is cut cleanly in half. Swords don't usually break on their own.
That's true.
Alright then, let's think about it in this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it on or for something. Maybe Lance was trying to use it to pry his way out.
Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later. This door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay, well, there are barrels, and there's the broken sword. Looks like a sword. Oh, looks like a sword! A broken sword!
Okay, well, it looks like we saw this already. So there were two ways to look at the sword, then. And for some reason it's not letting me skip this, I guess because it took me to a different conversation. Anyway.
That doorknob handle thingy is looking pretty beat up.
I suppose that's what happens when 10 officers break their way in with brute force.
Hey, that's odd. The lock on this is completely fine. Look, not a single dent.
But how is that possible after what that officer told us?
Yeah, if the lock had been in use when the door was busted down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked.
So the lock on the door leading to the outside is undamaged. How can that be? Huh. It was clearly... Yeah, the sword was clearly barring it. I'll just go ahead and... Well... I want to look at the barrels and the ladder first, too.
Ooh, they have barrels like these just outside.
Yes, and?
Well, I know I already asked you when we were out there, but... if these were real, what would you put in them?
There's an expectant gleam in her eyes that I'm about to dash. Just ignore her. Whoops. Wrong button.
The panel that hid the entrance to the underground is propped up and wide open.
Be careful of where you step, Kay.
I only fell into that other opening once, you know.
Okay. Well, let's connect what's obvious. The sword was jamming it closed. It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock and anyone can see that it was not in use at the time.
But the policeman outside said it took 10 men to get it open.
A door that was locked tight, despite it not being locked at all. It can only be because of this.
Oh, you mean?
Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. Do you see how the handle is completely destroyed?
So that's how the sword broke.
Now it's evidence. Neat. So we should go clockwise. This must be where they dispose of old and worn-out costumes.
That's so sad.
It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces. Well, there you go. It's a Bad Badger torso. That clearly pairs with this Bad Badger's head. We'll need to find some other logic to combine it. I wish we could look inside it to see if there's blood. Beyond this door
is where the kidnappers held you after getting the jump on you.
Must you keep reminding me?
But it's the room where I got to see your awesome Nyol face.
You didn't need to remind me of that mortifying moment either. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. 3 cups are set out. There's also 2 missing keys. I wonder what this key is to.
You got me.
It reminds me of the key we found in the other room.
That's it. It must be the key for one of those trapdoors.
That wasn't a trapdoor. You only call it one because you quite literally jumped into it.
Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one?
I am not having this conversation with you.
Cheap styrofoam cups. Looks like only 3 cups were used.
3 cups? 3 kidnappers? I mean, unless one was for Lance Amano. But then again, there is a possibility Lance was in on this whole thing, so what do you know?
A poster of Gatewater Land is stuck on this wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige. Gatewater Land has it all, and it's waiting for you. It's not especially catchy, is it? Folding chairs, and by the look of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers. Huh, there are 3 chairs set around the table. Watch out, Mr. Edgeworth! It's a broken mirror. It probably came from the haunted house. Why is this here? Are they planning to repair it?
Yeah, why would this be over in Wild Wild West land? And for that matter, why is there no broken glass here? It was clearly shattered somewhere else.
A sign advertising the photo rally. Something I have absolutely no interest in. Yeah, but I do, and I'm going to get my hands on the rest of the Badger family. You'll see. She definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation. Hey, there's a trap door in this room too. It's not a trap door, it's an entrance to an underground passage, Kay. I know that. The door leading to the outside world was locked, so Lance must have escaped his prison through here. Well, can we go in? Well, looks like we've looked at everything there is to look at, so let's... Actually, before I touch the logic, let's see if Kay has anything new to say. So this is the room next to the one we were held prisoner in. You know, I took a peek in here through the door from the other room. As did I, Kay. Anyway, if this room was truly the kidnapper's hideout, then that means there should be some clues to their identities here, right? I don't know if there are, however, the probability is quite high. I believe a thorough combing of this room is necessary.
Yeah, I probably should have done that as we stepped in here. Anywho, 3 cups plus 3 chairs equals 3rd kidnapper. The common denominator between the cups and the folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3. I count 7?
Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers.
Indeed, something isn't adding up. Literally. Is it possible there is a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we've only uncovered more questions that need to be answered. Oh, good lord. That was terrifying. What is it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct? What are you doing, suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that? This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We Badgers also make use of it in our duties.
Look, why don't you get out of there first and then we'll talk, okay?
Ah, I beg your pardon, miss.
Proto-Badger, get! Alright, only 1 more to go.
What are you getting all excited about?
Did you forget the photo rally, duh? See, look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the Bad Badger and I'm done.
Yes, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort.
Don't just let...
What? It's gone, but where did it go?
Huh? What happened?
What's wrong?
A Bad Badger costume is missing, sir.
Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnapper stole it.
I heard about how they were stolen, but they said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken.
What?
Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto-Badger, please tell me a little more about these costumes you use. Okay, from my omniscient viewer perspective, the Proto-Badgers are suspicious as all hell, but I guess Miles and Kay don't really have any reason to suspect them yet.
What did you mean by a Bad Badger costume is missing?
Why, just what I said, sir. We are 1 Bad Badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each costume on hand at all time.
Okay, so because one of them is walking around in the park,
the other should be in that room. Actually, both of them should be in that room.
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, we don't use the Bad Badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at the set time each day. It's the stage show where the Bad Badger wreaks havoc around the park. And the other badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir. I'm speechless that such a show exists. Also, couldn't anyone just take a photo of all 4 of them in one group shot, like so, and just win the rally? Well, sir, I was just trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume.
Then doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger?
Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I going to do, sir? All this basically means is that the kidnapper stole 4 costumes in total.
Then, are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers?
Probably not. There was a switcheroo at some point. No, I don't think that's very likely.
Oh?
Recall the costumes for a minute.
The stolen ones, you mean?
What proves that a 4th kidnapper does not exist? This remaining one. We can assume that maybe the top row are all legit costumes, while the bottom 3 were taken by kidnappers. So in that case, yeah, let's do that. If you had 4 people and you had wanted to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a pink badger costume instead?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet, the kidnappers decided to steal another Bad Badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 Bad Badger costumes, but the question is, why? I was wondering, if you don't mind, Mr. Proto-Badger, how did you know my name? You're pretty famous, sir. I would think that most people would know who you are. Famous? Me? Absolutely, sir. You're always very active in the community, I hear.
Wow, I didn't know you were such a celebrity, Mr. Edgeworth.
I feel like I've met this person before. Maybe it's just my imagination? Well...
I'm not sure who that could be. Huh. Kay, are you participating in that Blue Badger photo rally? Yeah, I figure since I came all this way, I might as well. Plus, I want the prize.
The prize?
It's a handcuff-shaped notepad. Wait, or is it a notepad-shaped set of handcuffs?
Either way, they both sound incredibly useless.
Hey, you don't know that, and I'm sure I can figure out what to use it for. Whichever it is.
A notepad might be useful, but I don't see when she will ever need a set of handcuffs. You can combine logic. Well, okay, that's pretty obvious. The second Bad Badger costume. I believe it may be closer at hand than we think.
Huh? What do you mean?
That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that it's wearing some very telltale pants?
Hey, you're right. Let's get out of there and take a look.
The right hand has a hole in it. As I suspected, it's a Bad Badger costume.
Well, minus the head.
So a close look at it. Is it wearing a hakama? I wonder why this Bad Badger costume's right hand is torn up like that.
Huh, maybe it's a flesh wound from a fight with the Blue Badger. I always knew the Blue Badger was one ferocious beast.
I somehow doubt that even real badgers are as bloodthirsty as that, Kay.
Oh, look, its hand is hurt.
It looks more like something was ripped off of it. Oh! Hold on. I got an idea. So, quite hilariously, the Bad Badger is, yes, a vile criminal with a gun. As you can see, it's holding it in the right hand. That's probably not a prop then. The gun isn't a prop. It's literally part of the costume. It's like sewn on, attached to it. So clearly the fake gun was ripped off so that someone could hold a real gun in their hand and just fly completely under the radar. Hello. Let's absolutely find some way to deduce here. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Well, let's see about that. Victim's costume? No. What about the gun? Well, okay, I don't exactly see anything for the missing gun yet, but the head is missing. We can combine that with a Bad Badger's head and hopefully get a match. Oh. Maybe not. Maybe the answer is to use the gun. I wonder why this Bad Badger's costume's right hand is torn up like that. Oh, yeah, we saw that. Anything about the footprints? Like, has it been tracking mud at all? No, nothing about the feet. Unused folding chairs. Okay, I got it. I think I actually use what I was just looking at to see the Blue Badger's design. I used the pamphlet that shows all of them. So let's try that. I believe what we have here is an inconsistency.
Huh? Between what?
Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something in its right hand that it should be.
Huh. Oh, the gun!
Precisely. The Bad Badger was designed to always hold a gun in his right hand. However... You there. Did you remove the gun from this Bad Badger's right hand? No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume. As I thought. The rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto-Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct? Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show. It seems our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun, my dear costume friend. Investigation complete. I think we're done with this room.
So, what's next?
Well, we found a few answers. But there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir. You've got to hurry, sir. Come on.
What is it, Detective?
They found a Blue Badger costume down in front of the main gate, sir.
What? Isn't that what one of the kidnappers was wearing?
Bingo. That's why you've got to come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before Wolf Boy does, sir.
Alright, let's make haste to the main gate. To be continued. Right now. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe?
Just on the other side of the fountain, sir.
Another pendant?
Was it out here in the open all along?
No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly.
Then let's get down to it. First, let's look at the police chief's soulless eyes. This headpiece. This must be the Blue Badger Officer Meekins crossed path with.
Oh, the nerve of someone throwing a Blue Badger away like this. I worked so hard to create this character as like my baby. How could someone do this, sir? How?
Detective, how about channeling your anger towards finding the culprits?
Good idea. Oh, wait until I get my hands on... So, who are they, Mr. Edgeworth?
Why don't you try figuring out yourself for a change? Okay, let's see what's most obvious here. What do we have here? Well, well. A pair of wings to match the horse. Pegasus, of course. Okay, it's all coming together.
Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these two...
Hold it right there. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? Ah, a pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence.
How can you tell?
Look here and read off what you see. Lauren D. Okay, so Pops is not her maiden name, I would assume.
Lauren! Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this.
D for Devore. Aha! We have you now, Miss Kidnapper.
No, you don't understand.
Oh no, please don't call her Lolly. Anything but Lolly. No.
I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers. Lance! You're kidding! Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers? Yes.
Why do I feel like she's covering for someone now?
It was me. I held Lance hostage.
So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over. Hey guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Again, Mr. Prosecutor, what is it this time?
Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect.
We found it.
Found what?
That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Who are you calling a sham? The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon.
So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges. I see.
And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it.
Thanks for the confession.
Agent Lane, it's much too early to declare this case closed.
Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for?
Miss Lauren Pops? Yes?
I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder.
But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough?
Is she about to cut her own hair? Okay.
It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't?
I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today. It's kind of bothering me how silent Sheena is. I feel like there's going to be some huge moment with that character at some point. Like, she's just kind of there. But why is she just there? That is so entirely unlike an Ace Attorney game, to have the character who is just there,
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Romano would pay anything to get his son back, after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
There. Are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much.
Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth? Yes, it is.
If that is the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession.
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon.
Hold it!
How well did you know the victim?
I've spoken with him only a few times at Lance's house.
A few times, that's it?
Yes?
If they only met a few times, I don't see how they could have trusted each other.
But if you hardly ever talk, then how could he trust you not to steal his plan?
That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning, which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Isn't that right, Sheena? Well, oh wow, speak of the devil.
Yes. However, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself.
Ha! I bet he didn't see that one coming.
We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage.
Hold it!
You knew? How did you know something like that?
Oh no, what should I do?
Kay, what's wrong with her now?
Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way? No, stop it, Lauren. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you'll always be unhappy. Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare.
I can sympathize. Mind your own business, Kay. Now then, Miss Pops, let's continue with your testimony.
Oh, yes, of course. Mr. Romano would pay anything to get his son back, after all.
Hold it!
Why did you believe that?
Anyone who knows Mr. Romano would think the same. I bet Lance is that old man's greatest treasure.
I suppose he would be to a doting father like Mr. Romano.
I always figured that was it too, and I was always envious of Lance for it. Oh, because you're Dad's. I got this pendant from my father, and I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday. He'll welcome me into his arms, riding on the back of Pegasus.
That pendant. She must truly believe it to be the wings of Pegasus. Well, this was pretty awkward.
Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money...
Hold it!
Would you mind telling us a little about the plan itself?
Well, first we captured Lance. Oh, how did you do that? Well, Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't quite know. And here I thought you knew how to steal people away.
I shudder to think what she would do with such knowledge.
Sorry, I really don't know, but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to contain him. All we had to do after that was wait for the ransom to be paid, but Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
Hold it!
Why do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops.
Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning. Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yeah, why would they? So, let's see what happens. I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you.
But why?
We were total strangers. There we go. That's how you know.
It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over...
Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops. The horse.
Take that!
Of course.
Why are you showing this to me?
So what about the pendant? This horse pendant, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are. Combine it with, yeah.
Take that!
These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, you're right. They're the same color. They're even made of the same material.
I believe that these two pendants are actually one.
Huh?
Shall we give it a try?
Wow, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
No, that can't be.
So the two make a set? It's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything. Huh. You lack imagination, Agent Lane. Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This is a piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant. The Colin Devore dossier? He might head for his wife and sole daughter.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Devore, the name that is etched on the horse pendant. What? An alias? I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Devore's dossier. What I really wanted to point out was this. This specific section is what reveals the true meaning behind these pendants. Jesus Christ, the game really wants to make sure that I know what's going on. Daughter.
Take that!
Mr. Devore had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops.
That's a lie. That person was not my father.
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from. Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot. And what is so funny, Agent Lane? You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say? Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility. Is that so? Well, let's hear it. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say that my scenario is perfectly probable as well? So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that either one could know of their true relationship, right? You mean they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter? That's right, as one really rotten family. Is that really what happened? I had better take a long, hard look at the evidence. Okay, well, this makes for the best spot to end things. Yeah, I did start having an inkling a few videos ago that Lauren Pops might have a dirty secret to hide. But now I'm thinking, well, she might actually be innocent. Well, maybe at the bare minimum, not fully guilty? I mean, she could have done like one bad thing, but she's probably not the murderer here. At the bare minimum, I don't want to believe that she killed someone. Much less her father, even if it would be unknowingly if she had. You know what would be a great twist? Was if it was Lance. I don't know how, I don't know why, but what if Lance got his hands on a costume? And yeah, if Lance was like tied up in the room and the kidnappers were going over their plans and at the very least dressed as the Badger family, maybe Lance cooked up some devious plan and dressed himself as one of the kidnappers in one of the costumes and shot one of his kidnappers. Of course, there's also the possibility that maybe it wasn't just for revenge, maybe Lance was part of the kidnapping plot as well. After all, there's always a chance that Lane's men could have taken away evidence, but we didn't really find any proof of like ropes or anything that would tie Lance up, right? Like Lance's story is that he escaped his bonds and escaped through the underground tunnel, but where was he tied up? There wasn't really like a steel beam in there to tie him up to, you know? And what with there being a third person involved in the kidnapping, maybe, just maybe, Lance really was part of the plot. Either way this goes for Lance, I think I won't be surprised. There's definitely something smelly here about this case. And as always, I can't wait to see more, so in the meantime, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Ace Attorney Investigations. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.